Auto insurance can all seem the same until it comes time to use it. So don't get stuck paying more for less coverage. Switch to USAA Auto Insurance and you could start saving money in no time. Get a quote today. Restrictions apply.
USAA.
Hilton brings you new ways to stay. With experiences that let you capture the glory days. Introducing the Graduate Hotels. Each inspired by local college towns, these stays are always original and never boring. Get in touch with traditions all across the country and enjoy a stay that's a class above the rest. Book at Graduate Hotels with Hilton Honors Points at Hilton.com. It's a win-win. Hilton, for the stay.
Alright, what's up guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show. And in today's episode, there's a couple of things that I wanted to talk on. I wanted to talk on this video game called SCP 5K, and I also wanted to talk on video games like SCP 5K, because I feel like there's a trend going on right now where there's a lot of co-op games coming out. I feel like those are really the two main games that really be coming out a lot more than other games. Like, you really are starting to see less racing games. I feel like Enzoy, that was probably the last game that was like, you can have your own experience with it, but it wouldn't have been a problem if they did add some multiplayer features to the game. But it's games like that where I'm like, now that's a game that deserves multiplayer features. Now all these other games that are coming out, it's like, I think what they need to be worried about is capturing the attention of one person before you start trying to force it to where a group of friends got to go out and buy a game, because that's how a lot of games are played nowadays. Like, you look at games like Repo, you look at games like Lethal Company, you look at games like SCP 5K. I'm trying to think of some other co-op, because I do have Steam open. Hold on for a second. Let me see what they have in their co-op section, because it just seems like that's the main thing. There's this one game that I was getting ready to check out called Fuel Harvest Together. Now that does look like a game that you can play by yourself. It's one of those like simulation type games, but they got multiplayer in Schedule 1. I gotta see about that. I didn't. Oh, I guess they do, huh? Didn't know that. But anyways, let me see some other games that they have on the list. But yeah, just the games that I listed off, it's like, bro, you don't need to do that. You don't need to have it where every single video game that comes out. Oh, and did I say extraction shooters? I've talked on extraction shooters a few times. But yeah, you're starting to see it's extraction shooters and co-op games. Oh, then there's this one game, but I heard that game was good, Split Fiction. So that's a game where I'm like, yeah, it's, I can understand why they're it's a co-op thing. But yeah, but no, that's actually what I do like about that game. I think they do have it where you can download, you could get like a friends pass thing where they're not forcing you to go out and buy the game. And I think a lot of games need to be like that. Like, if you're going to have it where a game is co-op, you need to have it where it's a friends pass thing where I can download the game for free and just play it whenever my friends invite me to play it. If it's a situation where I discover a game, it's a game where it's like I can invite my friends to play it. But that's the thing though, with a game like SCP 5K, I feel that that's one of those games where you're going to need a high-end PC, and you are going to need the, I don't want to say skill level, but I feel like it is one of those games where it's like, you got to be extremely strategic when playing the game. It ain't a game where you could just play it, have fun. It's like, no, it's one of those games. It ain't like how, Repo, like arcade type co-op games. Like, I feel like there's two different types. You got those arcade co-op games that really do blow up, and then you got games like SCP 5K or Ready or Not, 6 Days in Fallujah. What are some other games? But that's the thing, like, that's what I'm overall wanted to talk on, is that my thing is this, it either needs to be a situation where those games, because there's friends that I have where they strictly just play on PlayStation, and then I got friends that strictly just play on Xbox, and I got very few friends that do play on PC. Like, I had to give one of my friends gaming PC just because he's wanting to get into PC gaming. But that's the thing though, where it's like, if he's just now getting into PC gaming, do you think he's going to, because I'm trying to think, what game has he been playing a lot recently? There is some game that he was, no, Ready or Not, that's what it was. And that's the thing that I like about Ready or Not, is that they do make it to where that game, you can have a solo option with it. Now, you can very well play the game with people, but they do have that option in there where you can play the game entirely by yourself. So when I see stuff like that, and then when I see games like SCP-5K, so to kind of just tell you the origin story on how I discovered that game. So scrolling through Steam, as I usually do, I at times find myself doing that, where I just be kind of trying to like find games to play, and so that was a game that I would see often. And they do have like some weird looking enemies in the game, but I'm like, hey, you know what? I could look past that. The game looks fun. It's only $20. I'm gonna go ahead and buy it. I remember I bought the game a long time ago, but I think at the time being, the friend that I had gave my other gaming PC to at the time, I don't think I had did all the upgrades that I did, like how the PC that I have now, like where it's a little bit more better in things. At the time being, I was like, I didn't have that. Like, I had a gaming PC where it was like, it was expensive, but there are still games that I couldn't play and stuff. So anyways, that being one of them, like, that's one of those games where it requires a lot of hardware. So that's why I'm like, fam, if it's a game like that, here's the thing, because they did just recently come out with an update, but I'm like, fam, you need to make it, if it's gonna be a $20 video game, then it needs to be a $20 video game. It don't need to be no $20 video game that look like a $60, $70. I think people be doing that way too much, where they want to make their game as realistic as possible, and I'm like, fam, it's not needed. Nobody asked for that. Like, if you want to have that option there, cool. But here's the thing. At the end of the day, you're going to have gamers like me where I can care less. I have played games where they are the most cartoonish looking games, and then I played games where I'm like, yeah, they're pretty realistic looking, but that's usually because it comes from one of those studios where they study that stuff. They spend a lot of time and work into that, but I feel like that there are at times where people, they just be trying to rush it. You ain't really trying to like take time with it and things, and I feel like that's the case with SCP-5K. It's like, you guys had a story, you had an idea, but you rushed it, and that's why the game is in early access. And I'm like, yeah, because if they were to say that game is like at a significant amount of like percentage completed or done, I'm gonna tell you that right now. There's a lot of key things that game needs where it don't have it. So, but anyways, so recently I decided to get the game again. And I played the wave mode. There was things missing in the wave mode where when you look at other games where they have like their wave modes, whether it's zombies or other stuff, they usually have it where it's a little bit more friendlier for a new player. When I played SCP-5K's wave mode, they have it where you can't even find weapons to use, because so they have it where you start off with a pistol, and I find that kind of weird, where it's like, I mean, I guess at the end of the day, I understand like you're trying to keep it that traditional wave mode, but at the same time, it's like you need to make it where it's like that. You can't come out with your own little version of a wave mode, and then there's things that are missing, like, so for an example, so when you're trying to find a new weapon, they don't have it where it's easy to discover, like how Call of Duty, for an example, they have it where the weapon is highlighted right there on the wall. So like, let's say for an example, if you're looking for an assault rifle, you can find an assault rifle. SCP-5K, they have it where you have to be running around this map as enemies are chasing you, creatures or whatever are chasing you. You're running around the map trying to find a weapon. Then when you do find a weapon, they don't have it like how it is on like Call of Duty, where you could just click on it and then you got the weapon. No, they have it where you got to stand there, hold the button, wait till the thing goes around. By the time that happens, you end up getting killed. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, fam, I don't know why you guys would have it set up like that, because I'm saying it ain't like my hand is going to, my thing is this, if I'm being chased by creatures, it ain't like my hand is slowly reaching for the weapon, I guess simulating this like loading thing before you pick up the weapon. I'm going to pick up a weapon and I'm going to get the blast in whatever it is that's chasing me. Alright, so that's why I'm like, yeah, it's the wave mode. It was I played the campaign mode. Campaign mode didn't even have like no easy, medium, or hard difficulty settings. They just put you in there. Game is just difficult right off the jump. Like, the wave mode was alright, but then I played the campaign, couldn't even make it past the first part. Came across some enemies and ended up getting shot and killed. And I'm like, fam, my thing is this, what trips me out about stuff like that is, do you want people to, I guess, finish out the campaign? Do you want people to see the campaign through? Because how am I supposed to see it through if I'm out here getting killed left and right? I'm just saying, like, and that's the thing where I'm like, I knew that was going to be an ongoing experience with that game, where it's like, okay, I make it past that spot, and then the next spot I go to, that I end up getting killed by whatever else is waiting for me on the other side. Not trying to have that where that's going to be an ongoing problem. So my question is what would be the problem if you guys just added the difficulty settings? Or maybe have it where it's like there's like NPC teammates that I can have come in there with me, because there are games out there like Ready or Not, Payday, I'm trying to think, 6 Days in Fallujah, they added it, where they do have NPC teammates that you could take with you in case you're playing the game by yourself. Why don't you guys have that? Why is that something that, you know, it takes me doing a podcast episode to bring that idea up? And I know there's going to be them fanboys out there trying to defend it, all like, oh, well, there's places you could go to find people to play the game with. That's the thing, though. Everybody got their own little unique way of playing the game. I be liking to play the game by myself, all right? Because that's one thing where I've learned my lesson playing the game with random people. When I play games like Destiny, for an example, people got their own little unique way of, I shouldn't say little, but people got their own way of playing the game. You got them people out there that just want to go AFK and they just want to gather up the XP. You got where people want to go out and do some other stuff, as you guys are in the middle of a strike mission. What else do you have? Oh, you have it where people, they're all like, oh, I want to steal your kills and do all this other extra stuff. When I play games like SCP-5K, I just want to play the game by myself. So it's either you guys add a difficulty settings or have it where you can have NPC teammates to play the game alongside with you. Because to me, that just don't make no sense. You know there are going to be people out there that are going to play that game by themselves. That's something that you guys should have been thinking of prior before you had even released the game. But you're assuming that because of what this game came out. Let me see real quick when this game had came out, because it wasn't too long ago. I think it was maybe a few years ago or something like that. But 2022. So it wasn't like you know, and that's a flat out lie, because they was all like SCP-5K is a co-op or single player tactical horror shooter. No, it's not. It's not a single player game. It's not designed for single play use. It's designed for co-op use, and it's not like that you guys are like the first people to ever do co-op games. I'm pretty sure you could have looked at any other co-op games for ideas when it comes down to them, where it's like there's that. I know that game Split Fiction wasn't out yet, but I think It Takes Two, that game has been out for some time. Let me see. And that game is crazy. It was like that game, it just started blowing up out of nowhere. But anyway, It Takes Two. That's a $39.99. But yeah, that game came out a year prior before SCP-5K, and that's a game where it's like, yeah, they give you a friends pass, so they're like, you don't have to go out and buy the game, because that's the thing that you need to understand, is that with games like that, SCP-5K, talking on that there are going to be people that are not going to trust the idea of buying your game, because yeah, on Steam it's $20. Maybe if there's like one of those like Steam key websites, hold on, SCP-5K Steam key, let's see if they got anything on it's still the same like price pretty much. Like you go to like websites like G2A, yeah, you might as well. No, that's not even the game. It's like an account and stuff. So yeah, it's pretty much gonna be the same price anywhere else you go. It's actually, oh no, that's like a special edition. But anyways, but it's not like you could get the game for a cheaper price. So my thing is this: what would be the problem if you guys just had it where it's like there's that friend pass thing where it's like, okay, you wouldn't be able to play the game by yourself, but if you download the game and wait for a friend to invite you, you'll be able to play the game with that friend. What would be wrong with that? I'm saying if you got it where EA can do it, and it's not like EA is, you know, because I mean, they're not really, yeah, they're not struggling and stuff, but it's like at the same time though, the way that they be pricing games and be doing things, you would think that they are struggling, but even they're giving away, not really giving away a free copy, but they're at least letting you play the game. What would be wrong with you guys? Because that's the thing. Not everybody's going to jump up. My thing is this. All right, let's just paint out a scenario. Let's paint out just a situation real quick. You being a person that's living paycheck to paycheck, or let's say let's just say you are living paycheck to paycheck, but you do manage to save some money on the side and stuff because you have like your content creating career, going on and stuff. So anyways, there's all these different video games that's coming out throughout the year. Now, there might be that one video game where you're like, I ain't gonna buy no games because I know how hard it is for me to save money and stuff. You never really know what can happen at the end of the day. So my thing is this. You go and you see this SCP 5K game, right? And you're like, dang, I really don't want to, buy this game because I really don't know too much about it. But let me just go ahead and give it a chance real quick. You're that person where you gotta play, because my thing is this. I feel like I've played games long enough to know if I'm, whatever my experience is within the first 5, 10 to 20 minutes of me playing the game, I know that that's going to be the same experience that I get 2-3 hours into the game. So that's why I'm like, I'm not even going to fool with it. If I can't have fun with this game as soon as I start playing it, I'm not going to invest in it. I'm going to get my money back, and I'm going to continue moving forward. But let's just say that this game is on PlayStation. You play this game on PlayStation. PlayStation got it set up where as soon as you play the game, can no longer get your money back. You're not, you played this game, you're not going to like it, but you're stuck with the game, and you're out of $20. How do you think that's going to make, just talking to the developers, how do you think that makes people feel? Yeah, at the end of the day, you guys just made $20 off of somebody. But do you think people can afford just giving out $20 like that? Because it's not like you guys are the only game that exists. There are other games that exist with much more pricier price tags. So that's one of those things where it's like you really got to sit down and think about, if you're going to make a game, you got to make a game for everybody. You can't just make a game for the tactical shooters, strategy shooters, no, you got to make a game. Even though that game might be rated M for mature, the game got to be E for everybody. Because I'm saying, at the end of the day, it's like people ain't trying to be out here spending $20 on a game, and it's like they're not going to have fun with it. Now, yeah, overall, you can do what I did, get your money back and just move forward and play another game, which is what I did, because I'm like, bro, that's the thing. You got to understand that it's like with games like that, it either needs to have a single-player experience, or you need to have some NPC teammates if it's supposed to be this co-op shooter stuff. So, but anyways, yeah, I'm like, people need to chill with these co-op games, because it's like co-op games and extraction shooter games, it's just way too much of them that's coming out. But it's like, if you're gonna come out with a co-op game, you need to have it where it's like, okay, NPC teammates, or the and then the person can play the game by themselves, or have it where it's like, I can if I buy a game, that I could give out a copy away for free at least, and because my thing is this, because there's friends where I'm all like, yeah, I'll definitely play the game with them, and with a game like that, I'm like, yeah, if they did have it where it's all like, hey, buy one copy, get another copy free to send it to a friend so you guys could be playing the game and stuff, cool. Now I ain't gotta worry about playing the game with random people. And I'm like, maybe, and the thing is this, I'm like, maybe they can go and buy a copy and then give it out to another friend, and then right then and there, it's like we got 4 people to play the game. So yeah, 2 people buy the game, 2 other people get the game for free. Or it's like, and I'm just saying, or it could even be a situation where it's like you're sending the game out to, and they probably might be already doing that, but I'm like, yeah, you need to do that more often. Send copies out to people so they can play the game. But it's like, yeah, that game, it doesn't really have a single player experience. I'm like, even though it'll say like, for some of the modes, it'll be like 1 to 4, 1 to 6, 1 to 8. You're gonna need some assistance when playing a game like SCP 5K, because it's a game where it's no different than like Ready or Not, 6 Days in Fallujah, where it's like them NPC teammates, they can at least take some bullets for you, or they can at least shoot at whatever is shooting you, and then it's a fair game. But it's like, that's something that you guys sit down and think about, and this is talking to the SCP 5K developers. Would you go to an area where there's people shooting at you, there's these enemies that's turning into creatures like from that Kurt Russell movie, The Thing, you got where all this stuff is going on? Do you think you would go out into an area like that by yourself, or would you want some assistance? That's all I'm saying. I'm like, at that assistance. But if not, then it's like, yeah, don't be surprised if people be doing that often, asking for their money back. Because I'm like, bro, you're not offering a single player experience. So yeah, it's like, even if you're just changing the have it where the difficulty is changed, I'm like, cool, do that, so at least then it's like, yeah, there's like easy, where it's like, okay, like, it's maybe there might be some enemies that don't spawn, or the enemies can't do as much damage. Normal, where it's like, okay, it's just a normal flat out experience. And then hardcore, where it's like, okay, we're gonna give you the most difficult experience of all time. And like having it where those options are there. But it's like, if there's only one option and then you're claiming it's a single player, you can have a single player experience, fam. that's not a single player experience when you're putting it on hardcore and it's like this crazy too. You know that people are going to be getting killed left and right in the game. Do you really think people want to sit around and deal with stuff like that? No. So that's what I'm saying. If it's going to be a single player game, then it needs to be a single player game. But if it's going to be a co-op game, well, I mean, what is this game going to be? Co-op or single player? Because something needs to get taken out. So, but anyways, with that being said, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening. Stay tuned for the next episode. Like, subscribe, viewing this on YouTube. Follow, subscribe, viewing this on the podcast streaming service. And peace.